بسم الله الرحمن الرحیم. Minister Atmar, Minister Stanagzai, dear colleagues, ambassadors, good afternoon to all of you. First of all, I want to thank again Minister Atmar for this initiative, for the Mondays initiative engaging the regional countries, and today a broad range of countries, partners of Afghanistan, international organizations that all have played an important role, a crucial and critical role in the past 19 years. My sympathy as well to all those who have suffered in different countries because of COVID-19 in our own country, and thank you for your support in enabling us to dealing with the consequence of this pandemic here in Afghanistan. Countries and organizations around the table, including United Nations, around the table is a kind of habit of speaking. Otherwise, the colleagues have joined from different parts of the world as well as from different locations here in Kabul. United Nations, NATO, EU, and individual countries, partners of Afghanistan, have contributed so much in the past 19 years to the well-being of our people, towards stability in Afghanistan, prosperity in Afghanistan, and helping us in humanitarian situations, security, and so on and so forth, that we are all grateful as citizens of this country to all of you. At the same time, as you all spoke today, you are supportive of the most important priority for the people of Afghanistan, which is peace. And thank you for your support there as well. We need your support now. We need your continued support during the peace talks, and also your support and engagement post-peace in order to assure and work together towards sustainability of peace in our country. There is no doubt that dignified, durable peace and lasting peace is what the people of Afghanistan want. The people of Afghanistan have their own wishes and desires, and also they have their own concerns. In remarks made by all of you, the emphasis were on Afghan-led, Afghan-owned peace, inclusive. When we say inclusive, it means all walks of life in society, including women, youth, and victims, and at the same time sustainable and durable, and with preserving the achievements of the past 19 years, which are there because of too many sacrifices, including citizens of the countries around the table, and Afghans, of course. When it comes to those three main principles, we are on the same page completely, and we are at the same time. It's part of my responsibility, and I am, and we are fully aware of the importance of well-functioning peace architecture. We are making progress on the announcement of the new cabinet, which will be followed shortly with the presentation of High Council for National Reconciliation members, and which will help and support the mandate of the negotiating team. The architecture will be efficient and inclusive. Minister Stanagzai talked about the negotiating team and the preparations made there, and also about the exchange of prisoners that needs to be completed. And thank you for acknowledging the courageous step taken by the Islamic Republic of Afghanistan in releasing over 4,000 Taliban exchanging over 4,000 Taliban prisoners. At the same time, you had all the details of the numbers when it comes to the our security personnel or civilians which were arrested by the Taliban and later on released. We will do utmost in that regard to complete that process. At the same time, I'm grateful for your calls on flexibility with the when it comes to the Taliban, with the numbers. We will get to the number 5,000. We had discussions with. I had discussions with President Ghani in that regard, and he spoke about it earlier in details. And that's part of the phase that we are, which is confidence-building measures. And we need to move from this phase to the next phase, which is the phase of engagement. But in between also the violence and the level of violence, which is unacceptable, and it's mainly caused by the Taliban. We welcome your support, and we are thankful to you. All of you spoke about it, and we have taken position about it publicly, and we encourage your efforts through leverages that you have through different countries in order to reinforce that message. Moving to the phase of engagement and negotiating in good faith, and also being ready to be flexible and ready to make compromises and have collective action on achieving higher shared objectives. That is required from both sides. When I say compromises, I don't mean by any chance making compromises on the achievements of the people of Afghanistan, on the fundamental rights of the people of Afghanistan, or on the universal values that we believe in it, and Afghan people have made so much sacrifices for those achievements. The initiative of the United Nations Security Council for global humanitarian ceasefire, that was embraced by the Islamic Republic of Afghanistan with the positive response from our side, but unfortunately Taliban have ignored it. To communicate those calls publicly will be helpful, while Secretary General himself and also members of the Security Council and member states of the United Nations all have supported that call. That will create a very critical opportunity for furthering the goals of talks in achieving peace, and also it will help us to maintain and sustain the consensus within Afghanistan in support for peace. The countries of the region have a role in it to play, and the countries present today in this get-together have a role to play. What are our expectations? It was referred to in remarks by President Ghani and also the colleagues present in today's event. First of all, thank you for there are countries which spoke today. They all have offered their good offices and also offered to host events of negotiations, which we are grateful for that. And the country's attitude has been to make those offers without imposing their will. But at the moment, as you are well aware, the first round will be held in Doha, and the initial understanding is that after the completion of exchange of prisoners, it will be 1 week from that. And also there is an understanding on the facilitation that the host country should do the facilitation, but on the details of facilitation, what does that mean? The two sides needs to agree. That was what Taliban had lately agreed to. Your strong support for the peace process is important. Your technical and capacity building support in order to enable the infrastructure for peace will be appreciated, and also the public messaging are extremely important, and also working together for post-peace development. And as colleagues in one or two occasions rightly mentioned, that we cannot wait until then, but we can rather start working together for that eventuality, which is important for the people of Afghanistan, perhaps the highest priority for the people of Afghanistan. It's important for the region from the point of view of stability in the region, and also the opportunities which awaits not just for the people of Afghanistan, but the whole region to enjoy in terms of connectivity, economic activities, in working on the areas of common interest. And in that sense, we need to take a long-term view and think through sustainability of peace deal. We need your support to secure key elements of an eventual peace deal, like reintegration programs, return of refugees, security sector reform, illicit economy, dealing with it, and active role in terms of economic infrastructure, digital, and also water management when it comes to within Afghanistan and also within the region, political negotiations, political cooperations in the region, including monitoring peace. Of course, this part will depend on the agreement between both sides. What is important, and it was reflected in the remarks by President Ghani and Minister Stanagzai as well, that we need to secure a commitment from the Taliban that it will not be a sort of one-off negotiations, but to secure their commitment not only for reduction in violence and comprehensive ceasefire, but at the same time for continued engagement. And as part of the strategy, the first agenda will be ceasefire. At the same time, start how to strategize it, how to prioritize it is important. There are different models, there are different ways of doing it. While talking about the initial agendas, including ceasefire, having the difficult issues of differences which exist between both sides, the Islamic Republic of Afghanistan and Taliban Emirate, their ideas. These could be done in parallel, like working on a framework agreement, at the same time having discrete discussions on those difficult issues, including one person, one vote, in the rights of women and youth in minorities and liberties of the people and achievements of the past 19 years. Those could be done parallel to that through the negotiating team in supporting mechanisms for that discreetly without publicly talking about the differences. These could be the ways to move forward. At the same time, once again, I want to thank all of you for your strong support throughout, and also for your continued commitment in supporting Afghanistan. I was listening to your deliberations. I learned that 15 of our policemen, which were with the Taliban, have been released, just like it was an hour ago. So the exchange today continues, and we will continue to make sure that whatever is in our hands and our capabilities that help the start of negotiations in completion of the exchange of prisoners, we will not hesitate, but talking with partners, which you all talked about it, I do need to emphasize, but you have all said it rightly, that it's for the Taliban to prove themselves, and also that shows the difficulties of the future negotiations and future process. But we are, as far as the people of Afghanistan, the Islamic Republic of Afghanistan is concerned, and personally in my position as well as a citizen, to seize every opportunity in order to further that cause. Once again, I want to thank Minister Atmar for arranging the event, and thank you for your patience and deliberations today, which was in support of humanity and human cause and in the interest of our people. Thank you.